If I told you that the money in your pocket or on your card would completely disappear one day, how would you feel? Today, money feels ordinary to us, but thousands of years ago, people lived in a world without money. Money is valuable to everyone. But who invented money? What paths did money pass through to reach its present form? Today, we will find the answers to these questions. Thousands of years ago, when civilization was not fully developed, people did not live in crowded societies like today, but in small communities. These small communities shared tasks among themselves in order to survive. One person hunted, another farmed, and someone else built shelter. People needed each other to survive. This need led people to barter. A hunter could take a fish he caught and trade it with a farmer for some wheat. But there was a problem. Sometimes the farmer did not need fish, so the trade did not happen. Instead, the farmer could trade with a shepherd for a sheep. Also, the value of goods was not clear. How many sacks of wheat was one sheep worth? These questions came up again in every trade. As days and months passed, people began to think about finding another solution. There was a need for a common tool that would make trade easier and be accepted by everyone. This is how the idea of money began to take shape. When money first appeared, people started using some valuable and rare objects as money. Seashells, salt, grain, fur, and animals were used for this purpose. For example, salt was both hard to find and did not spoil. For this reason, it was considered valuable for a long time. Roman soldiers were sometimes paid with salt. The word salary comes from this practice. However, these types of payment methods also had problems. They were hard to carry, not accepted everywhere, and not easy to divide. People were looking for a more practical, more reliable solution that could be used everywhere. This search led to one of the most important inventions in human history: metal money. About 2,700 years ago, the Lydians living in Anatolia began producing small pieces made from a mixture of gold and silver. A state seal was stamped on these pieces. This seal showed that the value of the money was guaranteed by the state. When buying goods or products, people did not have to worry about whether the buyer or seller would trust the money. Metal coins spread quickly. They began to be used in much of the world, including ancient Greece, Rome, and the Persian Empire. Money represented not only trade, but also state power. Money minted by a state symbolized that state's strength and authority. Over time, nation-states began to use money not only for trade, but also to collect taxes, finance armies, and control the economy. However, some states reduced the amount of gold and silver in coins in order to mint more money. This reduced the value of money and caused inflation. Prices increased, and people became poorer. This problem led to many major crises throughout history. Inflation had not only economic, but also political consequences. Such economic problems played a major role in the weakening of the Roman Empire. For many years in history, metal money was used. However, as trade expanded, carrying large amounts of money became difficult. This was a major problem, especially for merchants engaged in long-distance trade. At this point, a new idea emerged. That idea was paper money. The first paper money was created and used in China. At first, these paper notes were documents given in exchange for gold deposited in banks. People could carry these documents with them and use them for payments. Over time, these documents were accepted directly as money. In Europe, people involved in trade did not trust paper money for a long time, because paper itself had no value. However, when states supported this system, paper money began to spread. By the 19th century, most countries adopted the gold standard system. The reason for choosing the gold standard was to prevent inflation. In this system, every paper banknote represented a specific amount of gold. People could exchange their money for gold if they wanted. This created trust in money. However, the world was changing. With the Industrial Revolution, economies grew rapidly. There were more factories, more workers, and more trade. The amount of gold was no longer enough for this growth. There was not as much gold as the amount of money demanded. This caused a crisis. During the First and Second World Wars, countries made very large expenditures. The gold standard became unsustainable. As a result, a new system was introduced. The money system we use today is called fiat money. Fiat money gets its value not from gold, but from the state. The reason a banknote is valuable is the trust placed in the state that issues it. In this system, central banks play a very important role. Central banks print money, set interest rates, and try to control inflation. Money is no longer only metal or paper. It is also a relationship of trust. Toward the end of the 20th century, money began to change once again. Credit cards, debit cards, and electronic transfers became widespread. People began shopping without carrying cash. Money gradually became invisible. Today, for many people, money is not metal or paper, but simply numbers on a screen. Salaries are paid digitally, payments are made by phone, and shopping is done online. In 2009, a new era began in the history of money. The first cryptocurrency, called Bitcoin, appeared. This money was not connected to any state or bank. It worked using a technology called blockchain. There was no state or bank guarantee. Among the public, cryptocurrencies were called internet money. Cryptocurrencies started new debates about the future of money. Some people believe they are the money of the future, while others see them as very risky. Today, cryptocurrencies are still used in limited areas. The journey of money is, in fact, the journey of humanity. As people's needs changed, money changed, developed, and took new forms. However, the main purpose of money has never changed: to make exchange between people easier. Money is not an end, it is a tool. How we use it determines the fate of societies. Throughout history, money has brought both prosperity and crisis. It will continue to change in the future. But no matter what form it takes, money will always remain at the center of the human story.